Evan McPherson has this one teed up, and we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On the counter, it's Henry. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Well, it all came together on that one, didn't it?
Big-time throw on 4th.
Now that had to feel good, didn't it? Taking that type of a gamble there, making it pay off. What a throw.
And tough as a receiver because no matter how perfect the pass, you know it's 4th down and you got to convert.
A little bit of extra pressure, but he overcame it.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
For the Vikings, it's 7-2 here on the year. And they coming on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline.
And he fires one that's intercepted. And into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak can have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum down.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
As he came to the line of scrimmage, he knew he didn't need much to reset the chain. So when he saw the space he needed, no hesitation. He went to the marker and got his guys a first down.
A first down carry for Henry. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward.
After the penalty, it's Henry. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Great effort there. His first touchdown all day. And the Vikings are getting an extra point of tying up this ball game. They'll try and run it in with Henry. And he'll get in. And they take an 8-7 lead. And they got down 7-zip. They said, we'll go for 2, one up you, and they take the lead.
How about that? A little risk reward, right? If you don't get it, you're only down a point. Let's go ahead and make a statement in this ball game, and that's exactly what they did.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. So already not the best of kick returns there, but that penalty, that adds insult to injury and backs him up even closer to the goal line.
Yeah, not ideal field position to begin a drive, is it? Because the extra pressure now goes on the offense. They've got to get some early yards and get away from the shadow of their own goalposts. What every offense wants to do in this situation, get 2 first downs to help out with field position at the least.
A very costly holding penalty. It backs them up all the way inside their 10 to start this drive. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he's out right at the 25. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside, and so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
They'll look to throw here on first down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that will bring up second down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
2nd and 5. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Sauce Gardner puts it off. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Carry now for Derrick Henry. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. They'll look to throw here. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And this will be down just on the other side of midfield.
Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
This defense for the Vikings, they played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
A tight one, 8-7 our score after 1 on EA Sports. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to have his running back. It's complete.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
2nd and 2. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
They'll drop to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Well, their first 4th down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any 4th down stop is a big momentum play.
And a tackle there by C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
It's rare that a man his size can at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about Tiny? You're talking about the little guy back there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Inside handoff, Henry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They'll run it again with Henry. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down. They'll look to throw.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 41-yard line. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And a throw right sideline is complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And they're able to add on to their advantage. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Henry. And he is going to come up empty here as they stop him short of the goal line. And this will remain a 1-score game as the lead holds at 7.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go on?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit in the same spot again.
We'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
Bobby Okereke making that tackle.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. Touchdown! A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year.
And the Packers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. But for as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
So up comes the Packer offense as they will again go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes could prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Khalil Herbert to return it from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go now.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their...
And Henry's hit. He lost the football. And the Packers pick it up. But he has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
Touchdown, Packers!
Jalen Waddle.
26 yards.
And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Ready?
Once again now the Packers going for 2. They'll look to throw. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From the end zone, here comes Herbert. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Last time out, they had the fumble. That led to the touchdown. Not a great look on either side of the ball as the defense gave up the points too, Charles. But they've got to take care of the football and do better here on this possession.
It's certainly been a tough stretch, partner, for both of those units, and they kind of put their defensive mates in a really tough spot there by dropping the ball on the ground. But an easy way to make it up to them, get out there now and get some points on this drive.
They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
But that's what they have to do more of defensively, not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
Yeah, we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball, possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
36-yard line.
Ready up. Check, man. Check.
2nd and 6. Going up top.
And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down.
Good defensive call right there because they had someone shadowing him along his entire route. And he was right there ready to provide a hit that prevents him from adding another catch to his big start.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. He'll drop to throw.
He's got this, complete to Williams.
Touchdown, Packers.
Jamison Williams.
36 yards.
And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
They'll set up a throw. Rolling to his right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And the Packers are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And from the end zone, here comes Herbert. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
And the Packers Packers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
And he'll go down, brought down at the 20-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
2nd and long.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
And he will be brought down on what will be the final play in this first half.
So we reach halftime, and it's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Not the way you envision things to start out the 3rd quarter. One play and already a turnover.
It's interesting. You and I were talking with the coach, and he talked about how at halftime, as a play caller, he wanted to make sure he got a new script going for the second half, not just the one that he operated off of to start the game. Nowhere on that script did it have that result.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Henry again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half. You're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
Man, not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. Henry.
Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. Only a yard there, so it brings up 4th and goal.
Well, if this defense can hold them to a field goal here, what a win that would be.
Not just a win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game. But this started with 1st and goal, so they were in 4-down territory right from the beginning. I say you finish it off and go for the touchdown.
It's a quarterback sneak, and he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. It's their quarterback scoring on the sneak from a yard out.
And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points.
Back to 60, back to 60.
Looking to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
When it comes to 2-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
Yeah, they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The last drive for this offense, Charles, you remember it ended in one play, that quick interception, but they do still have the lead as they start this drive here.
And that's something to focus on for them as well, because it's not quite no harm, no foul.
But the interception, hey, shake it off, move on. Hasn't cost your team the lead, and now it's time to rebound. And the quarterback and his teammates, they can add to the lead with a good drive here.
Going for the deep ball. He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw.
That's Waddle. He's got the catch on the out route. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And this is going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there. But where he's sitting right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Ready, break. 19 right. Stop the 18. Pass to 11. Pass to 11.
He'll look to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert. And they turn it over. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
And the football changing hands here as this offense takes the field. Charles, they'd be fine with more of the same on this upcoming drive. Last time out, they found the end zone for 6.
And they're certainly hoping for more of the same, but the game plan, I doubt it'll just be a carbon copy of the last drive, because I think this offense is ready to break out some new wrinkles and try some new things that might be hidden in their playbook. They want to use that confidence to its advantage while also keeping the defense from anticipating what's up next.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a 1st down. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
Hitting London coming across the field. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts, because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Again, it's Henry. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
48 yards rushing for him now to this point.
But you got to give kudos to the offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And he's going to get the 1st down as they bring him down at the 23. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Here we go. Back. Go.
They go play action here on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Henry running right. It's a 6-yard pickup to get him back to the original line of scrimmage with third down coming up.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Derwin James with a pick.
And the Packers are going to get the football here at their own 23. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys have been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it, it's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along. If you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Now here's a handoff out of the gun.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They're going to look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Tyson Campbell. And the Vikings will have solid field position as they take over at the 45-yard line.
Well, and I saw the pressure coming out, and that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Backing 18.
They'll set up to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that pretty much has been the storyline, Charles. This defense, they seem to be one step ahead from the start of the game until now.
And you identified it perfectly, and we can see the frustration that's settling in now. And it's probably been there for a long time, but now it's evident because you can see it in their faces, you can see it in their body language, maybe even a little bit in that play call that ended up maybe closing them out. Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
58 yards on the ground for him so far.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
This offense so far on third down, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes.
And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick.
possession of the football.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They set up the screen for Henry. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. So back at the midfield stripe now, they'll come up 2nd and long. They'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. But we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
He'll find Williams on the slant.
And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45.
So it was already a gain on the completion, but tack on some more with that penalty.
Absolutely, and no matter what angle you're making the tackle from, you can't grab the face mask, and that's just putting your defense on its heels just a little bit more.
So the penalty yards marched off on the face mask. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Jesse Bates. How big is that penalty? Wipe out the INT.
You'd hate to be the teammate that caused that penalty and wiped out the interception. You got to face that guy in the locker room. Not a lot of fun for you, and you hurt your squad.
The penalty moves him into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back.
And the Packers are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
They'll look to throw here. Sliding out of the pocket. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. And the sack leads to roughly a loss of 6, and it brings up 2nd and goal. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence and playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And it's a Packers touchdown from 6 yards away.
And the Packers add on to their 4th quarter lead, and they are on their way to improving to 8-2.
back to throw. And he's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth-quarter lead. So they're able to throw it in for the two-point conversion, and sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them, but he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth-quarter hole. He's got a man, complete. And the throw will be escorted down inside the 35. A big play there for Minnesota. 41 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage.
Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson with career touchdown number 75. And the Vikings have gotten back to a 2-score game in the fourth. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Henry. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he's only going to get this to the 4-yard line.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
They'll go option to the short side. And he is going to lose yardage here.
Trailing here in the fourth quarter, and that personal foul, that only adds to the hole that they're currently standing in.
Yeah, absolutely. Bad job of just losing your cool and letting your anger take over. Mistakes like that, not going to help you at this stage of the game.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw.
Throw over the middle. He finds Williams.
And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
That one a gain of 20 and a first down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Here we go.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, We're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. They needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the 4th quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
That pass caught. It's Williams. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down. Stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he's got it. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there.
Hitting double digits with his 10th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers go coast to coast and finish the drive off with 6 points.
Here we go now as they will again try for 2. They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head, because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And my goodness, another interception. And I do believe this is going to wind up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play?
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
against me. I guess all of that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted. East Coast and 6'4s hitting switch. It's not a conflict of interest.
Cut it with the business. West Coast rocking them Timberlands, deep up in them trenches. It's no difference. Neither one play games when swinging for them fences. We want the finer things that's expensive. To hit them either close range or at a distance. If God for me, why bother? I got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. G, flossing with a gold.